Hey guys, Derek here. Welcome back to the channel. We are back to watch the season finale of She-Hulk. This episode is called Whose Show Is This? Now, last week on She-Hulk was probably the best episode of the season, featuring Matt Murdock, Daredevil himself. Super good. Really a fun time just watching Charlie Cox fully get back into the swing of things as Daredevil. I know we saw him in No Way Home, but like seeing him both as a lawyer and in his suit was just like so not nostalgic, but like it felt right. It felt like home. Like the world is being healed having Charlie Cox back as Daredevil. And his chemistry with Jen was super good. I really enjoyed it. Thought them smashing booties was fun as well. Very comic accurate to Matt Murdock. Just always getting the ladies. But then the episode ended with Jen at her award ceremony essentially being put on blast by intelligentsia, them putting all of her info out there and showing one of her sex tapes that she unknowingly made, right? Like recorded without her consent, being played in front of all her friends, in front of her family, her coworkers, essentially the whole world. She freaked out justifiably, and then the episode ended with the damage control agents with their fancy guns pointed at her. And I don't know. We're gonna see what happens. Are they gonna take her into custody? Like, what's gonna happen? Because episode 1, when Bruce was talking to her, he's like, they only need to see you as a monster once, and that doesn't go away. So I'm curious, like, what's the new normal for Jen? Like, is she gonna lose her job? Is she gonna get arrested? I'm very curious to see what happens. So before we jump into it, if you end up enjoying my reaction, please leave a like on the video. It means a lot to me. Helps my channel out a ton as well. If you are new here or you find yourself coming back often, hit subscribe and ring the bell so you're notified when I upload, especially if you want to see me react to more Marvel content whenever it comes out on the channel. I don't know when the next specific like Marvel TV show is. I think the next movie is Black Panther 2, and so that might be a while before it's on the channel, but rest assured, I will be watching it. And then if you are interested, consider supporting me on Patreon. That would mean the world as well. Over on Patreon, I post full, uncut reactions for everything I watch on the channel. You can also vote in polls and suggest things for me to watch in the future. So if you want your voice to mean a little bit more on the channel, head over to Patreon. But otherwise, let's jump into the season finale of She-Hulk.
Jennifer
Danger!
Walters, Esquire,
Oh.
lawyer, millennial, searching for a way to balance a career and her personal life.
Ah,
Gamma-radiated blood alters her body chemistry.
I like the aspect
And
ratio
now,
is square.
when Jennifer Walters grows angry or outraged, a startling metamorphosis occurs.
It's like classic Hulk.
And
It's like the
pursued by
original
online
Hulk TV
trolls.
show.
Don't
You're
make me
stupid.
angry. You wouldn't like me when I'm angry.
It's like 70s television, baby. The Savage She-Hulk. Oi! They put her in a cage. Whoa, her eyebrows really can angle.
This was a targeted attack. They need to be held responsible for this.
They baited you and you took the bait.
I was angry.
What? She broke some televisions. She broke a television set and she broke a wall. It's easy
We have an offer
peasy,
for
wrap
the
it up.
The
No
DA
big
won't pursue
deal.
any charges related to the incident.
What are the terms?
Oh, she gotta wear an inhibitor? Bruh. She can't be Hulk no more. That's some bull. Isn't her whole job reliant on her being the Hulk? So she's definitely like losing her job.
Terms of the deal permanently bar Jennifer Walters from transforming into her She-Hulk.
A neighbor who wished to
She broke a wall. Yeah, yeah. Dang right.
Got water pressure for days.
I mean, there is a drought in California. You should be conscious of that.
And then we will find them and we will destroy them. By any and all means.
Legally.
Agree.
I said by any and all means.
No.
Outside the law. Let's get them outside the law. Call Matt. Matt will absolutely beat them up outside the law.
You might get a kick out of this video that Jen and her friends
No,
made in Las
Mom,
Vegas.
no.
My mission in life to see this.
No, 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 no.
Oh,
Oh boy. Jen.
That's correct. We worked together at the district attorney's office.
Oh, bruh.
We dated for a significant amount of time, and
no.
way before she got those superpowers.
Bruh, this guy sucks. Bro, her grandmother? Why? What's the significance of her grandmother?
Jennifer Walters is a woman at a new low. She has no more
No,
fight
we're
in
not
her.
doing a narrator. We're not that off the rails.
Smug Hulk. Not delivered. Did he block your number? It only says not delivered if you have no service or they blocked you. Right?
Found this vid of She-Hulk in college.
She baiting, right?
Forgive me, Jen, for this transgression.
Yeah, she baiting. She baiting. Wow, they are quick with the comments, bro.
Oh, hey there, Hulk King. Okay, well, that was easy.
Yeah, that was extremely easy.
Am I a genius?
Maybe a little both. Hope to see you at the event, bro.
Are you still here?
Yeah. Pug's got to go to the event. Deep haikus.
If you say I'm the monster, what does that make you?
Okay.
Sucks.
Yeah, it wasn't a great haiku. Oh my god, is the event...
All right, I need you to go in there and mingle, okay? Find out everything you can about these dweebs. Don't worry, I'm gonna be on the phone with you.
Is the event at Emil's camp? What?
Please don't make me do this.
You have to, all right? I need you to blend in with these trolls, okay? And remember to always refer to women as females. Jen's life is on the line, okay? So I need you to get your head in the game, buddy.
Females.
Stop calling.
That's Emil's spot.
Guys, she just sucks, okay? And I'm not just saying that because she's a female. I would have the exact same criticisms if she was a man.
Okay, internet.
Females, am I right?
Females.
Mother pugger.
Bruh, go away.
Oh wait, that tracks.
Of course you're one of us. Yo, come here, man. Huh? Yeah?
Yeah,
Welcome,
bro.
bro.
Bring it in, bro. Sick, bro. Yeah, dude. Lit, fam.
Rules, all right? You heard it from me first. He rules, and he's hot.
What did someone? I'd smash you.
Here's where I'm at. Superpower should go
We-
to the best person suited for the job, right?
Bro, are you talking about acting right now? What are you? What's going on?
Nepotism.
Talking
She
about?
got everything through nepotism.
Yeah.
Dude, I created intelligentsia. I'm Hulk King.
Bruh. Like we all suspected. Did. Like we all knew that, right?
Let's talk.
Like, am I wrong?
We're real action.
Like, I feel like this is Emil's spot.
Started.
The barn thing? Isn't this where they did group therapy?
Actually, I think I'd rather just talk to Emil about this. Do you know where he is?
Yeah, he's down the lodge. Some private event down there.
Ooh.
Give it up.
Oh, is
The
that?
abomination.
Why? Emil, why? Emil! How dare you?
Welcome to the...
Yennefer trusted you.
I hear your group has all been making amazing progress. Every single person seizing their goal. Am I right?
Is he aware of Is he aware of who they are? He's kind of being vague.
Don't ask permission. Be powerful.
He's saying some vague things, like he's not 100% sure what the deal is with them.
Emil?
Jennifer.
We need to get out of here.
These guys are intelligentsia. Todd created the site. He's Hulk King.
You're Hulk King?
No doy.
Bruh.
You think the sex tape was the worst part? Well, I hired him to seduce you and steal your blood. Oh,
What are you talking about?
Why? You're so mean.
so it could safely give me all the powers you never should have been given in the first place.
Bro, what the yeah, but you did.
To earn them.
How? No, you didn't. You're mad at her for not like having those powers inherently, but you're cheating to get them.
Why is it?
Like you're getting them unfairly as well. Right? Is that he's a hypocrite.
Can't possibly be where the season was going.
Yeah, it's very, I mean, we kind of knew, right? New Rockstars called this a while back.
Yeah, come at me, bro!
Surprise!
Oi!
Come on, Titania
What?
too? This isn't messy enough?
Yeah. Facts. This is pretty... Oh, yes, Emil. Okay, Emil's good dude, confirmed. Confirmed, good dude. Oh, Emil, you just hit that dude pretty hard, though. What the fudge?
It's not what you think. Is this necessary?
Is
What
this...
is even happening here?
Yes, I too question what is happening.
None of these storylines make any sense. Is this working for you?
What the fuck?
Hey, what do you think you're doing? I'm just gonna break this inhibitor real quick.
What the fudge is going on, man?
All right.
What the frick is happening?
Marvelous. That'll do.
What? What is going on? What is going on? She-Hulk production? Is she gonna talk to the writers? What the frick? This is like that one Deadpool kills the Marvel Universe. Doesn't he kill the writers at the end?
A twist? The bad guy steals my blood in order to give himself superpowers. Where did you come up with that original idea? Was that from every other
Was that the
superhero
guy that
story?
played...
Okay, there are.
That's the guy that played Porcupine.
Why don't we just do things our own way?
This is the story that Kevin wants.
Kevin
Okay,
Feige?
then I want to talk to Kevin.
I like how the first instance of Kevin was like an acronym.
To Kevin.
Yeah, right there. It's like,
I would murder you to protect Kevin.
is Kevin an AI program? Is Kevin a robot? Like, why is it an acronym? She's at Marvel Studios. What the frick?
Why'd you make me sign if you were just gonna do that?
Everyone has to sign the NDA.
Yeah, man. Oh. That looks like the hallway from Iron Man 2. Is that the hallway from Iron Man 2? God dang, what is happening? This is super fourth wall breaking. Okay. I'm always angry. Dun, 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 dun. Bro, is Kevin a robot?
Hello, Jennifer.
Kevin is a robot. Is this a commentary on how people think that every Marvel property is made by an algorithm?
But you must first transform back to Jennifer.
Why?
You are very expensive. Visual effects team has moved on to another project.
Okay.
There, do it now.
This is so meta. This is so meta.
Yes, I make the decisions. I possess the most advanced entertainment algorithm in the world.
Oh my God.
It produces near-perfect products. Some are better than others, but I leave that debate up to the internet.
Well, Kevin, I'm not happy with what's happening in my
This
story.
is literally a commentary on everything Marvel has created.
The Marvel Cinematic Universe is known for its big spectacles and high-stakes plot.
This is wonderful.
Marvel movies all end the same way.
Yep, same third act. Same third act.
The result of following some unwritten rule that you have to throw a bunch of plot and flash and a whole blood thing that seems super suspiciously close to super soldier serum at the audience.
Yep, no doubt, no doubt, no doubt.
Huh.
This is incredible.
The story, which is that my life fell apart right when I was learning to be both Jen and She-Hulk.
Indeed, that is what
Those are my
happened.
stakes, Kevin.
The stakes are high while being personal.
Well, can we not do Todd gets Hulk powers? Like, the powers aren't the villain. He is.
Facts, 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 facts.
Bruce swooping down from literal outer space to save the day in my story?
But Bruce is supposed to return to explain what he was
No,
doing
no,
on
we
set.
don't need to hear any of that.
But we were going to introduce...
Save it for the movie.
Who are you gonna introduce? I need to know. His kid?
And enough with this angsty nighttime. Let's do this big climax in daylight.
Oh, that's more expensive.
Would not mind seeing
CGI costs more in the daytime.
a woman has needs.
Historically,
I
we've
also
been
agree with
light
that.
in that department.
That's that's true. A woman's needs have been light.
Thor, daddy issues. Loki, same daddy, same issues.
Oh boy.
Star-Lord, two daddies, two issues.
Jen, please stop.
Too fast, too furious.
X-Men.
Oh yeah. Yeah.
That's it? We're done?
That's it?
What?
You obliterated the thrilling ending Kevin formulated.
So there's no season 2? Bruh, shut up.
I smash fourth walls and bad endings. And sometimes Matt Murdock.
Oh, gang gang.
See you on the big screen.
Really?
No.
Oh, dang it.
Should I transform back, or what's the most budget-friendly way to do this?
This is incredible. Slap it.
I'll
Slap
see
it.
you in court, babe.
Babe. Ho ho! Matt! Gang gang.
Jen, I'm here to help.
Hey.
Where did he drop from? Dude, Matt, you should still beat those people up. This is everything we needed. Matt's home for dinner. Is this the end of Fast and the Furious?
Do you like space?
Specifically Fast 5?
How Matt? Jen tells me you have your own practice.
Is The Rock gonna come in?
That Rebecca his own practice?
This is literally the end of every Fast and Furious movie where they have a picnic or a barbecue.
Welcome to my life.
Hey, everyone.
Brace! Bracey! Sup? Where were you, man?
I know I've been away on Sakara
Yes,
for a
yes.
while.
His kid. Introduce your child.
I have someone here that I'd like you all to meet. This is my son, Scar.
What's up, brother? He's not happy to be here.
Wow, you're family.
I like that they kept that part.
The message we're
Yes.
sending is that if you attack, harm, or harass innocent people, I'm coming for you.
Do you mean in the courtroom or as a superhero?
In all of the above.
Both.
Gang gang. Gang gang.
Who are you wearing to court today?
Okay.
Luke
The
Jacobson.
difficult diva of law herself.
No! Come on! Don't end that way. Wow. What a finale, bro. Ooh.
Step back, 'cause I might put it on.
I'm just vibing right now. I'm not even watching these drawings. I should be watching these drawings. I feel like they change every time. Kevin! I wonder if Kevin voiced Kevin. Kev Dog? Did you voice the robot version of yourself? Because that would be incredible. Gang. Ooh! What's up, Juan?
Take your time.
Emil, my apologies for the delay.
Yeah. You got sucked into another show, didn't you?
Yeah. In an era of peak TV.
We are. We are. Facts, bruh.
It's
shared fridge.
Kind of all one with everything.
What about Wi-Fi?
Yeah.
Wi-Fi.
The password is, what was it? Shambhala? Shangri-La? Gang gang! Abomination. Absolutely not taking accountability for his actions. Oh, love it. Love it, love it, love it. Wow. Wow, wow, wow. What a fantastic finale. Literally, it's like, okay, it's like the writers of this show just spent like, okay, it's like they released the first, I don't know how they did this. They filmed this entire episode 3 days ago. That would be wild. They released, okay, so they released the first 6-7 episodes of this show. First 8 episodes of this show, right? And they watched every week as new rock stars and heavy spoilers and Twitter talked about the episodes week by week to see where the storylines are going. And then they filmed this episode. And they literally just piece by piece by piece by piece were like, you think this about Marvel? Wrong. You think this about Marvel? Wrong. Like they took everything that everyone has been saying about Marvel for the past 10 years about how oftentimes some storylines can get similar and doesn't always feel super original sometimes, and sometimes they'll have absolute bangers of first and second acts, and then the third act will kind of a little bit go off the rails and have some CGI action, oftentimes taking place at night because it's cheaper. Transitions of characters turning into different things happen off screen, cheaper again. It's just little, like, as soon as she is at the compound, I was like, there's no way. Like, I was, things were happening and I was like, bro, they are literally, like, new rock stars is a bunch of gods over there. Like, they're predicting everything beat by mother frickin' beat. And people on Twitter, I saw people on Twitter being like, you know, it's predictable where the show's going. Like, what are the big stakes? Where is this leading? Like, calling out Brandon Davis, where it's like, where is this leading to? It's not leading anywhere. The stakes aren't world-ending stakes. The stakes are personal to Jen. This is a show about Jen. Title of the video or the episode. Whose show is this? It's Jen's show. So the stakes at the end of the season should be high stakes for Jen, right? Like you can compare subjectively, like, is the world, like, half of the world melting away? That's high stakes, right? But something to the average everyday citizen, like losing their job or getting publicly put on blast by the internet, those are also high stakes. And it's like if you directly compare the two, yeah, you could say the world ending is more high stakes than what's personal for that individual. But to say that what is those personal stakes for that individual, to say that isn't high stakes is just wrong and stupid. So, like, this This finale is a direct shot at everyone on Twitter that has been like, I just don't understand where the show's going. Like, what is the overall, like, how does it connect to the overall MCU? What's the big villain gonna be? There is none! And the villain is Todd. The villain is Intelligentsia. The villain is Andrew Tate. The villain is this nameless conglomerate that is the internet that tears women down on a consistent basis. the villain is the thing that makes these women feel as though they are inadequate or less than, or you know, the villain is the idea that men like Todd can do these things and pretty much like get away with it. Like, that's the villain. And the fact that all of it is happening to Jen, the main character, that's why we hate, like, we would hate the thing, that villain regardless. It doesn't need to have superpowers, like, right? Like, it doesn't need to pull a Captain America storyline and steal her blood to make a you know, opposite version, right? Like, this doesn't need to be Captain America fighting the Winter Soldier. This doesn't need to be the Hulk fighting Red Hulk. This doesn't need to be you know, purple Black Panther fighting gold Black Panther, fully CGI. Like, that's not what this needs to be. Like, the stakes can be high and the villain can still be a villain without falling into those tropes. And it's so wonderful that they straight up, like, just called it out. Like, as someone who's been championing this series throughout the whole time, like, Jen literally at a point in this episode is like, this is a legal comedy. like what are we doing here, man? Yeah! Making my point for me, Jen. Let's go. Like, freaking, like, the things are getting messy. Honestly, for the 15 minutes in, she's calling it out. She's like, what is going on here? Literally, we see what is happening from the perspective of the viewer who, like, exits out of She-Hulk halfway through because they just aren't vibing with it, or they just don't understand what's happening and they don't like it, or they're one of those douchebag guys typically that is like, and like whatever dumb excuse they have. So they go out to the Disney Plus menu, and she's like, boy, if you think I ain't coming for you just because you're at the Disney Plus menu, you best believe I'm coming for you, man. Like, like, what do you think this is? And her breaking the fourth wall is wonderful. I know people compare She-Hulk to Daredevil a lot because they both break the fourth wall. Technically, She-Hulk did it first, but I'm about to reference a Daredevil comic, so bear with me here. But there's a Daredevil comic, a couple of them actually. There's one called Daredevil Kills the Marvel Universe, which I think is the one I'm thinking of. But there's also another one where, like, Daredevil kills, like, United States presidents or something, or becomes best friends with, like, Benjamin Franklin. I don't remember. But there's, like, specific moments in the comic that I'm thinking of. I think I'm thinking of the right one. It might be Daredevil Kills the Marvel Universe, but it might be Daredevil. It's Daredevil Kills something. I know that much. But there's a moment in that comic where he literally, like, is walking down a hallway and he, like, peers into it, like, a doorway, I think, and he sees people, like, writing a Daredevil comic or, like, illustrating the very comic that he's in at the moment. And he, like, talks to the writers. I think he kills the writers of the comic as well. Like, he kills the creators. And I think he ends up talking to whoever's above. I don't remember. But that's what that reminded me of in that moment. where like she's literally in the writer's room with them, and they're like, oh, we thought it would be a fun twist. Like, and she's like, I'm gonna talk to Kevin. And Kevin appears as an acronym. And I was like, is Kevin a robot? Like, is Kevin an algorithm? Because that's such a common critique that I've seen people have. Like, people that are like, that are not enjoying current Marvel, or are not enjoying Marvel in general, where they, you know, they see a few good Marvel, they're like, there's a couple good Marvel movies, but all the rest just seem like they're written by a computer program. Like, there's no style, there's no substance. Every one of them is the exact same. And it's like, just to a tiny bit extent, you're like, okay, I get that. I get the argument. And it's not a completely unfounded argument, right? Like if you look over the 12-year now history, 14 years maybe? When did the first one come out? 2008? So if you look over the almost 14-year history of Marvel, you could justifiably say that a lot of the movies, in terms of tone specifically, are somewhat similar. You know, people will make the critique of like, you got to throw in some jokes. You know, you can't have a serious Marvel movie. Like you can't have a deeply emotional Marvel movie. You can't have one that's too dark or gritty. Like you can't be Marvel without cracking jokes. And the third act will always be kind of weird and messed up and doesn't really mesh with the rest of the content. And it's like, like we get it. So like the arguments aren't completely unfounded, right? And for her to break the fourth wall and literally be like, Kevin Feige is a Gladys robot hanging from the ceiling, just creating this content based off an algorithm of what they think people want, was wonderful. I feel like I need to rewatch that specific part to just like pick up all the little nuances of what they said. Something attractive about a man's knees? What? I'm rewatching the scene where she breaks the fourth wall, and some of the things that are written on the whiteboard. Get wishes come true, but there's no wowie at the end. What? They also they call out I think what they're talking about is the lack of directive, like from a director. Like some directors have a certain style, and there's been a common criticism that those directors are kind of given a directive from up above, from Kevin Feige, to tell a specific storyline and to give it a specific tone, and that these directors don't have any like creative freedom in the movie they're making. And so they call out that, which is fun. They also like literally have her go to the Marvel Studios offices, which I think those are the actual ones. Like it's not some like set, I don't think. I'm pretty sure they went to Marvel Studios and like filmed on location. Wow, crazy, right? Like who would have thought a Disney Plus show filming on location? Is this Andor? What is going on? You could have had a crossover with Star Wars here. They call out that you got to sign an NDA, which is apparently something that either does in fact happen or everyone like believes happens, because like the people, they're like, it's like when people are like, they got a sniper trained on all the actors. It's like, you cannot say anything. The NDA is ironclad, baby. They make a meta commentary on how she needs to change back into human Jennifer because she's expensive. That's a critique I've seen a couple shows with, where like they're like, oh, like this show is about so-and-so, but we spend most of the time in their like regular form because they cost a lot of money to do. Like that was a critique I saw of this show before it came out, of like people predicting that we would spend the majority of the time with Jen, or like quite a bit of time with Jen, because She-Hulk would be expensive. That's a critique I've seen about like why they spend so much time focusing on Bruce and less time on him as the Hulk, is because the Hulk is expensive, right? Like this is such a common critique, and that's a critique you'll see of really any, not just Marvel or Disney shows, but like any show that involves some sort of like transformation, is like they're gonna spend as little time as possible in that form because it's expensive. And maybe the first time you watch it, they will transition, like, and it'll be a cool animation. Every time after that, it's gonna happen off screen. If you watched one that I can specifically call out is HBO Max's Titans. So Beast Boy is a character in that show. If you watched like the OG Teen Titans cartoon, Beast Boy was transforming all the time. Like he was always switching it up, turning into different animals, vast arsenal of animals. You always saw him transition. In the Titans live action show, he turns into like 3 different animals. Like he's got a rotation of like 3 to 4 animals, and you never see him turn into them on screen. He's always switches it up off screen to save money. Like that's a very, very keen observation right there. Also very fitting to call out visual effects. Not just that they're expensive, but he's literally says the visual effects team has moved on to another project. Somewhat of a meta commentary on the fact that Marvel Studios has historically not treated their visual effects team super well. I don't know how those visual effects people will respond to this. They might be slightly offended to that comment because it's kind of somewhat being treated as a joke. But if we're being honest, Marvel Studios and Disney as a whole has not been the best employer to these visual effects studios. And oftentimes that would be a thing of like, oh, they did they didn't continue perfecting a visual effects scene because the visual effects artists have moved on to other things, right? Like you can't perfect this CGI shot that happened somewhat early in the season because the visual effects team is spending all of their time working on the finale because it's so visual effects heavy, right? Another great call out. Loved the call out that all the Marvel movies are made by an algorithm and that they're near perfect. I wouldn't say near perfect, right? He says we'll let the internet debate that. That's another keen commentary. Honestly, most Marvel movies that come out are at least good. Like at minimum, they're good. I don't think there's like a single Marvel movie that is like bad. I mean, there definitely are ones that are worse than others. People trash on Thor 2, like Thor the Dark World. People trash on that. Lately, people are trashing on Eternals, Thor Love and Thunder, Doctor Strange 2. People love to trash on the new stuff because it's not phase 4 or phase 3 of the multiverse thing where they're fighting Thanos. It's not Endgame. But most Marvel movies are pretty decent. They're pretty solid. And it's up to debate which ones are better, like he says. Solid call out that it's Kevin's show because every single thing that comes out in the MCU says a Kevin Feige production on it, which leads many to believe that he makes all the decisions on what happens, which he might. I mean, we've had directors come out in the past, like James Gunn being like, yo, I chose what happened. They dictated like a few small things. Like I think he talked about in Guardians of the Galaxy 1, the only thing that came down from above as a directive was the post-credit scene where Thanos is revealed. But other than that, like everything was his choice. But that is another this one section of the episode is just chock full of meta commentary. It is often said that all Marvel movies end the same way. Another fantastic commentary about how in the climax of these stories, they throw in a lot of action and a lot of spectacle and a lot of CGI that oftentimes distracts from the story that has been told throughout the film already and is not completely necessary for the story to be told, right? Like there's various Marvel movies that probably don't need some grand spectacle at the end to tell its story. People might say, oh, that's boring. Okay, like, sorry, engaging storylines are boring to you. Like, like people have talked about how Andor, they think Andor is boring because for 5 episodes, it was just like character growth and character development and tense dialogue. I mean, granted, no, episode 6, some spectacle, right? But like for the most part, people are like, oh, that's boring. And it's like, because we're telling a story here. We don't need lightsaber battles constantly to tell an engaging story, right? Like Rings of Power does not need constant battles to tell an engaging story about Middle Earth. And it's such a common critique of Marvel films that, you know, first, second act, banger. Third act, CGI, fight, right? Distracting from the plot of the thing. And that gets back to a lot of criticisms I've seen of this show is people aren't experiencing the story as it's coming. They're constantly thinking to the end, thinking to the season finale. You know, where is this headed? What big conflict is at the end of this? I've seen people being like, why are we taking so long to introduce the villain of this show, right? The villain's been present the whole time. But that's not the point of the show. The point is this is a story about Jen. And right when she, like she says, right when she is reaching the point in her personal growth where she is comfortable as both Jen and She-Hulk, she has her life destroyed. And then even after last episode, I saw so many people being like, bro, like, what's gonna happen? Like, what big fight conflict is gonna happen at the end? People still being like, is Todd gonna become Hulk King? You know, classic. This is a direct shot at, like, this episode is a direct shot at New Rockstars and heavy spoilers. And, you know, Cosmic Wonder, whoever, all these people, which I love them, by the way. I think they're wonderful. I love all the in-depth stuff that they do regarding these properties. Fantastic work. Love them all. But this is, if this show was, if she wasn't going to break the fourth wall, right? If this wasn't She-Hulk, this might be the route that the show might have gone down, right? Like, if they just told a story about, you know, the bad people facing consequences for their actions, people might be like, oh, it's a bad finale, right? Like, nothing happened. There wasn't a fight, nothing. Like, it was just like the cops came and arrested Todd after everyone found out that it was him that started it. Like, what the heck? There's no fight. It's like, yeah, because we don't need to have that. I wonder if this will show a transition in how Marvel movies are made, because Kevin Robot is like, algorithm updating. like in the future after this, are we gonna see different things from Marvel? I mean, maybe, because like previously we've been seeing lots of 6-episode format stuff from Disney, whether that be Marvel or Star Wars or whatever. And now, you know, with the Daredevil show, we're getting an 18-episode Daredevil show. This is 9 episodes. Like, is the algorithm changing and we're getting different stuff? What is going on? Loved the call out about like Todd is the villain. The powers that he has are not the villain. Fantastic. Calling out a lot of predictions that people had about Bruce returning in the finale to fight Abomination or save the day and introduce his son. Fantastic, you know, and he's like, save that for the movie. It's like, what? Are we getting a Hulk movie? Lots of people thinking, are we getting a Hulk movie? Like, he's the rights for the Incredible Hulk are transitioning back to Marvel, as many people believe, and many people believe we're getting a World War Hulk movie in a couple years. That would be wild. Not gonna lie. And even though they call out a lot of these meta commentary things, they still follow through with a couple of them. Like, fantastic. Big climax in the daylight, wonderful. You know, expensive but wonderful. Another commentary I heard about wanting to see Daredevil again in the finale. I think I personally said that in my discussion last episode. I was like, man, if this is the only time we see him, that was dope. I hope he's in the finale. That would be pretty cool. And literally Jen calls out, she's like, man, wouldn't mind seeing Daredevil again. I agree. And he shows up for a Fast and the Furious style barbecue at the end. Wonderful. A woman has needs historically in a situation that has been ignored is the viewpoint of a woman in Marvel movies. A lot of people have made commentaries that Marvel movies are made for boys and not girls. You know, historically, we've been light in that department. We have been light in that department. Tell some more girl stories. Unless you're geeks and gamers who are like, oh, the MCU, you're becoming a woke propaganda machine for women. Ugh. Come on. You friggin' buttholes. Don't like fun? Commentary on daddy issues. Lots of characters have daddy issues. Oftentimes because a lot of these comics were written by men who may or may not have daddy issues, right? Lots of comics written throughout time by men. Another historically underused aspect of Marvel history, not just the Marvel Cinematic Universe. Let's get some more comics written by women, folks. Come on, let's do it. Women are good at writing. Gail Simone, fantastic comics writer. Revitalized. I think she revitalized Deadpool. Like, that comic was like going under. like, and she rescued him. So more like the Daredevil, not Daredevil, the Deadpool that everyone knows and loves currently, pretty much like a direct product of Gail Simone. So like, people, let's get some more ladies writing comics. Would love that. My favorite little call out though is when she goes, when are we getting the X-Men? And then just thumbs up the screen. She's like, I got you. Viewers, I got you. Trust me, I'm wondering. It's like anytime someone has the opportunity to interview Kevin Feige or one of the actors, and they're like, hey, what do you want me to say? People are like, to ask them when we're getting the X-Men. And that is legitimately a question many people have. I myself have that question. And it's a thing many people have been speculating. New rock stars, Koi's Comic Corner. People make literal entire videos on when we might be getting the X-Men. Prediction. How are the X-Men getting introduced into the MCU? Constantly. That's a huge topic. What about the Fantastic Four? Like, she's just calling out everything left and right. We also don't get info on season 2. She asked about a possibility of season 2, and he's like, sorry, you can't ask any more questions. You broke the algorithm. Like, he can't predict what could happen in season 2 because the algorithm has been broken. Love the little moment where she talks about smashing Matt Murdock. Gang gang. This isn't even like an analyzing, like, talking big picture. I'm literally just going point by point in her fourth wall breaking. Whatever, Kevin. But then, yeah, the positive solution we're all looking for. Jen beats the villain, not as She-Hulk, but as Jen. She's literally transforms back to Jen and is like, I'll see you in court, mofo. Like, I'm getting hella money from you. And it's wonderful. And then Daredevil shows up, like, just drops out of the sky. And it's like, yes. yes, the Marvel writers listened to us and they listened to Jen and they put Charlie back in the show. And this time he's staying for a week, and Jen's family is very much wondering when they're gonna make babies. Classic, like every family possible, right? Matt, he also has to pretend to be blind still. I mean, he technically is blind, but whatever. They have a straight up Fast and the Furious style barbecue at the end of this episode. Like, did the people who wrote this episode, did they also write all the Fast and Furious movies? Like, I was expecting The Rock to show up and have Vin Diesel at the end of the table talking about family. Guys, this is family. I'm pretty sure there's a moment in... I think there's a moment in one of the Fast and the Furious movies. I forgot which one, but at the end of the movie, in this family picnic, they introduce the birth of a child. They're like, hey guys, just want to introduce you to our son. It's like, oh, a kid, yeah, family. Like, this was a straight up Fast and the Furious ending. Matt's there. And then they follow through a little bit at the end. Or, you know, they call out all the tropes and all the things that they were going to do. And you think, oh, maybe they won't do that. They follow through a little bit. They're like, okay, Bruce is back somehow. And he introduces his son, Scar, which is a plot from World War Hulk, right? Like, Scar is there. And he looks upset to be there. He's wearing some very Sakaar-esque clothing, right? And he shaved the front of his head. What is up with the front of his face? It's like he shaved just the front part of his head, maybe the sides too. And he's got like just the hair. It's like the reverse, not reverse Amish, like a monk, like the monks in Vikings, where they have the top is shaved, but like all the sides is normal. This is reverse that, where it's just the back top. Maybe he has like a ponytail or something. I don't know. That's an interesting addition. Ooh, Matt even says family. But that's a fun little twist for a potential World War Hulk movie. I think that might be the little morsel that all these internet YouTube channels, like I'm not any different. That's the here's what you can look forward to of this show, right? Because we all need a post-credit scene of like, this is what you can get after. Instead of post-credits, they just did it before the credits. They're like, you wanted something, this is why we put the scene of Bruce flying away, right? He went to Sakaar, found his kid, now he's back. Potential movie for Hulk coming up. Get your opposite of member berries cookies, like future cookies. Eat them. And Jen at the end talking about, if you're a bad dude, Jen's coming after you. Whether you're an asshole in court, like she'll come at you in court, she'll come at you in real life, bud. If you're a dick and a misogynist and you break rules and you break the law and do crimes, she's coming for you, son. And then it ends. And then, I guess technically the post-credit scene is Abomination, Emil Blonsky, taking Wong up on his offer to come live at Kamartaj. Because didn't he say earlier in the season, didn't he like decline the offer? He was like, I want to show that I'm a changed man, right? And now that he technically takes responsibility for his actions and goes back to prison, he doesn't actually. Wong bails him out. Like, he was never going to take responsibility. He's gone, son. And then, so now he's at Kamartaj, and he wants to know the Wi-Fi password, which, unless they changed it from Doctor Strange 1, I think is Shambhala? Shangri-La? I forgot what it is. Oh, he's like talking about, is this? Like, it's written on the piece of paper, it says like Shangri-La or something. He's like, Shangri-La? Is that what this place is? And Wong's like, no, it's the Wi-Fi password. We're not savages. No, Wong doesn't say that. Mordo says that. I don't know why I thought it was Wong. Fun tease. So now he's chilling at Kamartaj. Somehow is going to be part of the Thunderbolts eventually. We don't know. But as a whole, this was such a fun finale. Like, just the plot twist, the plot twist that they threw in there of, like, you know, how different She-Hulk is as a character. Why would they do the same thing that they do for everyone else in their storylines, right? Like, she can break the fourth wall. She can make commentaries on these things. Like, we as viewers should have never expected this to be a normal season finale, right? And it was personally just very vindicating for me as someone who's been going to bat for this show for 8 weeks, right? Talking, you know, about how I don't understand people's criticisms, or like I understand where they're coming from, but I think they're unfounded. Literally calling out people being like, where's this show going? Where's the big villain? The big villain is Todd. The big villain is misogyny. The big villain is you know, the nameless mob that hates women. That's the villain. Like, we don't need a villain with superpowers to come in. We don't need the leader to come in. The villain is literally Reddit. You know, love Reddit, but it can be a villainous spot sometimes. Like, I loved the message it was showing. Like, reaffirming, this is Jen's show. Like, this is about her. The stakes for the finale do not need to be world ending. The stakes for her just need to be personal towards her and feel high stakes for her. And that, in turn, can make it an engaging finale for us. And all we need to have it be a satisfying conclusion is for the main character to get what they want, right? They don't have to beat the villain in a fight. They can beat them by the other person getting caught and being like, bro, I'm taking you to court, son. Like, it's just, man, this was, I don't know what I expected or what I wanted from the finale before watching it, but I'm like wholly and completely satisfied with how this ended. Like, if season 2 happens, that would be dope. If season 2 doesn't happen, that would be a bummer. I hope they make 20 seasons of this show. Like, that would be fantastic. I hope Tatiana Maslany appears in movies. I hope they just include her in everything, because it's wonderful. You know, let Bruce retire. I mean, he's getting his own solo movie, but you know, we can move on from Mark Ruffalo. He's done with it at this point, probably. You know, let Tatiana Maslany take his place as long as she wants to be here. Continue telling stories. Continue following the journey that is Jennifer Walters' life, right? Like, we don't need to have an overarching plot necessarily that is like rock solid. It can literally just be Jen's day-to-day life, right? We are following the show because it's called She-Hulk, Attorney at Law. It's not called She-Hulk Fights the Leader, right? And I think that's one of the criticisms that annoyed me the most, is like people being like, I don't understand the plot of this show. Like, it doesn't have a plot. It doesn't have like a story that's happening. It's like, yeah, it's a sitcom. It's a legal comedy. You don't question what the plot of Friends is. You don't question the plot of The Office or the plot of Brooklyn Nine-Nine. You don't question the plot of Law and Order, right? It's just, you know, I mean, each episode of this is arguably way more connected than each episode of those shows. So you're just following the journey of this specific character. And it doesn't need to be some grand scale thing. It's personal to her. The stakes are personal to her. And I loved it. I thought it was fantastic. I've been talking for a long time now. Holy cow. I'm just looking at the timer on my phone of how long it's been going. An hour and 20 minutes I've been recording. I think this might be the longest She-Hulk video I've made, because I'm passionate, baby. I am the height of passion. No, man, I don't know. I mean, probably a substantial part of that time was me just analyzing the fourth wall breaking scene. But I feel like I could talk for days or hours about how much I enjoy this show and how satisfied I am with the finale. But I feel like I'll just start saying and repeating the same exact things. So I think for now, I will end it there. I would love to know what you guys thought of the finale. If you are someone who was on the fence with this show and weren't completely won over last episode, or maybe you thought last episode was the only good episode. If you're heavy spoilers who disliked most of the season until last episode, how do you feel about the finale? You know, Timothy Spoiler Fan, if you're watching my video right now, what's up, bro? I'm a big fan of your work. Love you a lot. You chump. What did you think? If you're in a similar spot to Tim Boy, like what did you think? If you have been loving the show up to this point, what do you think of how they switch things up? I would love to know. Another one. If you are someone who has had these similar criticisms of Marvel films throughout their history, the ones that they called out in the episode, how are you feeling right now? You feeling pretty good? You feeling vindicated? Like, are you like, yes, they understand? Alternatively, if you are someone who is like rah everything Marvel makes is perfect, how do you feel? I feel like there's so many varying opinions that people could have on the twist of this episode, and I would love to know how people feel. Very, very curious to see the response to this. I personally loved it. I think it couldn't be more perfect in the way that they chose to go about this. But I'm interested to see the response, because sometimes when I love things, I check the internet after and people are like tearing it apart. Like, I loved The Last Jedi. When I came out of the theaters, I was like, damn, that was a great Star Wars movie. That was fantastic. And then I looked online and people hated it. I was like, what? I watched Thor: Love and Thunder a little while back on the channel. I loved that movie. I thought it was fantastic. Very emotionally connecting to me. And then I go online and I see that everyone hates it. It's like, bruh. Like, I liked Eternals. I thought Eternals was great. And people hate it. And it's like, what is going on? So, the fact that I love this, it might spell bad news from the internet side of things. But hopefully it's good. Yeah, I think that's all I gotta say, though. If you liked my reaction, please leave a like on the video. It means a lot to me, and it helps my channel out a ton. If you are new here or you find yourself coming back often, hit subscribe, ring the bell so you're notified when I upload, especially if you want to see me react to more Marvel content. And then if you are interested in seeing the full uncut version of this reaction, consider supporting me on Patreon. That would mean the world. That arguably means the most because I'm trying to do this thing full time, and that is the biggest contributing factor is Patreon at the moment. So your support over there would be thebomb.com. You'd be sick with the sauce, and I would love you. If you're still watching the video at this point, you are legally required. You are legally required to support me on Patreon for at least 1 month. I'm super close to having enough money to buy like an actual camera, like a legit, like I want the Sony A7 IV, and I'm like super close to having enough to get that. And so since you're all legally required to support me financially, I might be getting it pretty quick. So, you know, take out your debit card right now. Click on the link that is currently in the description box for my Patreon and sign up, god dang it, because I said so. No, you don't have to do that. Or do you? No, for real though, I would be eternally grateful for any amount of support you can sauce me on Patreon or on here. That would be wonderful. Just don't make some weird ass fan account of me. I have less than 10,000 subscribers. If you're the guy or girl, this is getting kind of meta here, that many people might not be aware of this. If you are the weirdo, if you're the certified weirdo that made a fan account for my YouTube channel, what's wrong with you, brother? I have 7,500 subscribers. I'm not some celebrity that has like a legit like fame. Like I'm not famous. I'm not worthy of having a fan account. Like, what are you doing? And when I asked you to delete, I'm calling this person out specifically, bruh. I'm putting you on blast in a season finale of a Marvel show, fam. So if you see this, hit me up on Instagram and let me know. You had me blocked for a little bit, boy. But bruh, hot new news for people. I was recently made aware that someone made an Instagram profile called Armchair Reactions, which, fun sauce, ain't even the channel name anymore, boy. You're behind the game on that, you weirdo. Someone made that and they're like, this is a fan account for Armchair Reactions, and they're following all the people that follow me on Instagram, like some of which I know in real life, like most of which I know in real life. And people were hitting me up being like, yo, is this you? No, it's not me. Why would I make a fan account for myself? Like, what? I don't even have a regular Instagram account for my channel. I just have an Instagram account for me. And it was just weirdly suspicious. I didn't like, it didn't make sense why this account exists. Why? Like, I don't get it. And so I messaged this person and I was like, bro, it makes me feel slightly uncomfortable that there is a fan account dedicated to me on the internet. Like, if I was a mega star celebrity, whatever, like, fan accounts naturally come with that. But I'm like a Z-class celebrity. Like, I'm the smallest level of influencer that you can possibly be. Why are you making a fan account of me? I don't get it. And when I message you on Instagram asking you to delete it and you say no? What? Bro, talking about being a fan of me, and I ask you to delete the account and you're like, nah, bro, pay me and I'll delete it. What? What kind of wild stuff is that? Like, you ain't no fan? You ain't no fan when I ask you to do that and you say no? Bro, get out of town. Get out of town. Friggin' A. So, PSA, if you're watching this video still and an Instagram account called Armchair Reactions follows you on Instagram, 1, not me, 2, report them because they're weird. And when I asked them to delete the account, they said no, and wanted me to pay them to delete it. Fam, I'm not going to pay you. I'm just going to put you on blast for all 6 people that are currently still watching this video. Oh, okay. That's enough of that. Not even talking about She-Hulk anymore. Oh, man. Okay, that's all I got to say. Thank you for watching. Give me money, please. And I'll catch you guys next time. Okay, bye.